You're watching UPfront on the Joy News channel. My name is Blessed Suga. We're asking that big question, who leads the NDC in 2028? But that's not without perspective, because the opposition party, the NPP, is also heating up with their reorganization process. That process has been fraught with some concerns, which we will be pointing out to you shortly, because at the constituency level, we've had some concerns emerging, leading to the party annulling the results of some 3 constituencies. We'll tell you about what's happening there and what decision concretely the NPP's national leadership is taking on some of these matters. But whatever the case, the NDC also has that arduous task of finding its next leader. Fortunately, Global Info Analytics is out again with yet another national tracker. Trying to go into the minds of a lot of individuals who might form the electoral college of the party and will eventually decide who gets to lead the governing NDC in the 2028 elections. So let's try and answer all of these questions. Fortunately, as we're joined now by Musa Dankwa, who's Executive Secretary or Director for Global Info Analytics. But first, though, I want us to tell you that the NPP has got a statement. We'll come to that statement once we have the Communications Director of the party join us. So that will be coming up shortly. But let's get to the big question that Global Info Analytics has been asking. And that's about who gets to lead the NDC in 2028. Musa, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
And of course, there's a lot of work that you do, which comes under intense scrutiny, largely because of the motivation and why you're doing what you're doing. So this is supposed to be for the month of July.
Yes.
Why are you doing this each month?
Posters like us, anywhere in the world, that's what we do. We don't create content for media houses other than doing opinion polls. And the opinion polls we do are part of our corporate social responsibility as a company. So whilst we do that, we generate traffic for our own commercial business. So, we cannot keep quiet when events are happening. And as posters, we must be able to be out there and gauge people's sentiment on so many issues, including who leads the NDC.
So you agree that there's a business motive here?
No, it's a model that we have, because we've said that we are market research and opinion poll company. We do all sorts of surveys. But as part of our CSR, we commit a budget to doing national polls on issues that are of national importance. And you can't argue with me. Now, what is happening in NDC is national importance.
Obviously it is, and we'll be getting into all of that. But what I want to do is just to get this off the table. The NPP is done with their constituency level election, and they're out with a statement on what might happen for 3 constituencies. Then we get into the story of that of the NDC. Richard Ahiangba is Director of Communications for the New Patriotic Party. He's joining us now. Thank you so much for your time. I want to get to that statement very briefly, or perhaps whilst we have the conversation, it will be up on the screens so our viewers can be taking along what it is that you've decided to do in some 3 constituencies. Musa Dankwa is here. He equally has some questions for you on lots of issues happening with that internal elections. So I guess it's time to go through that. Maybe I should just take that. Musa, we have that on the screens, pointing out what's happening in the constituency elections for the NPP. So they're saying that the New Patriotic Party, with immediate effect, has annulled the purported constituency executive elections conducted over the weekend in some constituencies on the grounds that the elections were conducted in disregard for the party directives, rules and regulations. So the decision was now taken by the National Steering Committee of the party. And that meeting was held on the 15th of July, just around, the same time Musa Dankwa's group is out with their polling on the NDC as well. So 3 constituencies in which the purported elections have been annulled. You have them on the screens now. That will include the Bantama constituency. We have the Efijai Setra East and then at Dansia constituency. All of these areas have been announced, and fortunately, Richard Ahiagba is here to explain that for us, because lots of issues, even bordering on the voter album. These are concerns that are emerging that we have to hear from Richard. Hello, Richard, and thank you for joining us. So I was just going to ask you why the decision, though.
Thank you very much, Blessed. Good afternoon to you and to your viewers. I think you just read the letter out. We had the elections over the weekend. Currently, it's about some 38 or so constituencies, including these three that have their elections outstanding. And in this particular three constituencies, Bantama, Efija East, and Dansia Sokwa, the issues there was that those elections were put on hold, and so they were not supposed to have gone ahead with any elections. But we saw reports that those constituencies have had the elections gone on contrary to the directive issued by the National Steering Committee. And so the review at a meeting this morning into the afternoon, the Steering Committee took the decision to reverse those supposed elections because they were not supposed to take place to begin with. And so that's the situation. And then if you want to deal with other matters in the letter, subsequently, those constituencies whose elections are still on hold, all in addition to these three, have been referred to National Council's Electoral Affairs Committee to deal with the matters related to those constituencies, so they can resolve them for them to go ahead with their elections.
And I mean, as a national executive of the party, are you impressed about what happened in your constituency level elections? Would you say you're impressed?
Impressed as in we're speaking about what we're talking about, or in sum total?
I mean, yes, your general assessment.
Well, by and large, yes. I mean, the elections were peaceful. I was myself voting in Ketu South. I was there much of the day, saw the process going on very peacefully. And so the reports I got from other parts of the country was that the elections went on very peacefully. In the constituencies that were supposed to vote, that were cleared to vote, I think that by and large, it was a very peaceful election. The isolated incidents by no means takes away from the success that we recorded in those elections. Yeah.
Is that to say that, the level of acrimony that we're seeing is nothing to be worried about?
Which acrimony are you referring to?
Oh, okay. Some other constituencies, in fact, you've had to deploy your deputy minority chief whip to some constituencies, for instance, to foster peace among some of your contenders. In Bantama, for instance, we've also seen quite the issues relating to how the process is not being free and fair, as alleged by some individuals, nearly descending into some fisticuffs there. Are you saying all of these issues are nothing to be worried about?
Oh, I mean, it's a human institution. What is important is that matters come up and you deal with them. By no means, this is not any measure of the elections that were done. There were clear election challenges that were had. We knew this, and they were dealt with. And any outstanding matters to do with the election will be dealt with. And so I don't think that one can dwell on that and say that there's a challenge with the election. I mean, acrimony, even in heaven, there was acrimony in heaven. And so if among men, people have disagreements, those disagreements inevitably will be resolved, and then we'll move on. And there hasn't been any election where there is no acrimony, even the national elections. You saw how the NDC bastardized the EC, did all sorts of things with the EC, but when they won the election, who is complaining? So election is a contentious issue, it's competitive enterprise, and so there's bound to be interest that clashes. What you want as a political party is to be strategic in dealing with them, and I think that in our case, they have been dealt with properly. And these three constituencies that we're talking about, whilst the National Steering Committee took a firm decision to put them on hold, other people went ahead to kind of flout that order. We've gone ahead in a meeting this afternoon to reverse their insubordination, and then we'll go back and do the right thing. That's really what it is that the party is doing. So there isn't any concern there about acrimony or otherwise.
Great points there, which means that the next phase will be the regional, and eventually will come to your level, where, of course, you are equally contending. There's a question, of course, emerging about the concerns about the party's album. I don't know if it's going to be the national picture or even at the constituency level, but that seems to be a constant theme that you have running through. Musa, you have a question on that too for Richard, is it?
No, there have been several calls on some of their contestants for us to look at their race as well. So we're waiting patiently for the album to be ready so that we can do some polls.
Is it what was used for the national exercise in electing their...
national executive.
The national executive or the flagbearer. Okay, that will equally help you to do some level of assessment, is it?
Yes. So we are just...
But we've not seen a consistent outcome of your polling on their preferred national leadership as well.
Because they have gone into election, we don't want to rely on the very old album for the same survey. So we want to use the current album for the survey, so that will be much more closer to the
I see. Richard, do you have any answers to that, as to whether or not you have that compiled already, or it has to go through further processes?
In terms of the album for the national elections?
Elections, yes.
Yeah, so that album is still evolving. The first stage is what we just, or we're still talking about. The constituency album is going to be compiled. And once all the constituencies are finished voting, that's the college plus the regional elections, that adds up to the electoral college for the national election. So Musa is right that album is not entirely ready now. And if he's doing any polls now, perhaps he'll be using the old album, which may not be entirely accurate, even though some people in that album will graduate or win the election to join the new album that will form part of the electoral college for the national elections.
Yeah, I see.
So perhaps now, with the balance of the constituency elections being done, I think he will find a good sample if he's doing any polls now. But that album is still evolving.
Yeah, except that you turn that on the head. So, of course, the horse is out of the stable. You've elected your flag bearer already. Any more interest in any other contest? It wouldn't be a contest, is it? Looking at the other levels that you have, would it be much of a challenge?
Oh, yeah, of course. They are very distinct elections. The flag bearer one is a distinct election with different guidance and different matters at stake. The constituency election is unique, regional election is unique, national election is unique. So they are not one and the same in terms of what is at stake. So, there isn't anything that is taken away from the election, maybe regional, national, taken away by having done the presidential earlier. So they are entirely different elections with different matters at stake. And so I think that the election that we're having right before us now, apart from the outstanding constituency elections, is the regional elections, which fortunately kickstart today with nomination opening today. And hopefully by 15th or so next month, that will be done. And then the next layer would be the national election to complete our internal reorganization. Okay,
2 questions I've got for you, then we can let you go. First, a point about your message to those in these 3 constituencies that you've announced. What are they to be on the lookout for again? Because your regional elections will be coming up.
Yeah, so certainly those constituencies have been referred to the Electoral Affairs Committee. They have been given guidance to resolve the matters expeditiously, and based on their recommendation to steering committee, a decision will be taken, and those constituencies will go ahead and have their votes done. And so it is this 3 plus some 35 other constituencies. So a total of about 38 constituencies are referred to the Electoral Affairs Committee to deal with the matters outstanding, resolve the issues, and give a green light for those elections to be done. But of course, the committee would, bring its recommendation to steering committee, and then steering committee would direct for those elections to be done, subject to a fair resolution of the matters at stake. Okay.
Finally, while at it, Musa Danqua's national polling is out, tracking the preference amongst the NDC delegates already. You already have your leader. You are likely to see Johnson Asiedu Nketia or the finance minister emerge as the first two, possibly individuals that are most preferred. You're saying that you have a formidable candidate against these two individuals?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you know our candidate already, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is our candidate. And it's very clear in our understanding that if today you put a ballot box out there and you want people to pick a choice, people, I can tell you that a vast majority would elect Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And so added to the disadvantage the NDC would have having to come against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the fact that they are bringing an entirely new candidate. And that candidate will have to be tested on many fronts and be able to be sold nationally. And so it's an uphill battle for them when, for us, we have scaled several battles with our candidate who's been tested, whose ability to be president or be presidential has been tested, his capacity not in doubt. And so therefore, I think that we stand a few more steps ahead of them going into 2028. And I think that any candidate the NDC bring would have to double up to be able to catch up in the 2028 election.
Okay, I just want you to do a quick pick for me. Johnson Asiedu Nketia, Ato Forson?
You want me to pick one for the NDC?
Probably you have an interest there.
They can bring the two if they want. They can bring the two. It won't matter.
You certainly do not have a preference in this, do you?
Saying that, no, for the NDC, well, I can choose. If I choose for them, they won't like it. They rather they have the occasion to choose themselves, and I'm just trying to make it easy for them to say
who are you going to choose, by the way?
For them?
Yeah.
I mean, different. Any one of them will beat him, so it doesn't matter who I choose for them.
If you have quite an interesting lineup, maybe we'll be getting into that shortly. But you have the likes of Haruna Idrisu, Ato Forson, then you have Johnson Asiedu Nketia, who's taking the lead now. You're saying out of these three, you do not have anyone who you would tip to become possibly the winner.
Oh, for them. Well, so I guess I was coming from a place thinking that we're pairing them with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. At the end of the day, so let me start from the top. At the end of the day, any one of them that is brought will lose. So really, it's a race to the bottom. And if any one of them want to lose, I think that maybe the NDC will choose one out of those three to be the loser. But at the end of the day, the ultimate is to win.
You're really struggling mentioning any of the safe names. Is it because you're not confident that these names are not just names to write off? You're struggling hard to just pick any.
They are each accomplished individuals, but the task they are going to be picked to perform for the NDC, they won't measure up because they are coming against a superior candidate. And so I want them to fight that battle in their house, whoever they choose amongst them to come and lose.
Okay, let me make the work a bit more easier for you. Johnson Asiedu Nketia, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Bawumia.
Ato Forson, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Bawumia.
Haruna Idrisu, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Bawumia.
Wow. Julius Deborah, Bawumia.
Bawumia. Even you yourself, Bawumia. In a very unlikely
I'm not on the ticket of the National Democratic Congress.
Well, because they're running out of people very quickly because any one of them you bring is going to lose. Perhaps,
wow, you have such an angel as a candidate. Let me. Yeah, you have anything to say about your angelic candidate? Yeah. It looks like he's winning against everybody. That's what you're telling us.
Yes, Ghanaians have come to the understanding that everything that was sold to us in 2024 was a raw deal that was given to us, and not one of them has been accomplished. And it's turned out that the NDC did not thought through all the promises they made. 24-hour economy, they didn't think through it. We knew it, but they forced and sold it. And Nkiti, which was ridiculed and they resisted it. And now you saw that what is happening, they're just giving Christmas chicken to people. In a case where even Christmas has not come yet, people have started eating the chicken before Christmas.
Oh, really?
And so what the question is that when Christmas comes, what chicken will they eat? So then the NDC will have to distribute new Nkuko Nketia, 240 million spent on Nkuko Nketia, and people have eaten it before Christmas, right? So it means that the NDC will have to shell out another 240 million or more to share new Nkuko Nketia. And you ask yourself, is this how the NDC is going to create jobs? Is this how the NDC is going to create wealth? And if you ask the young people on the street today, they know that that's not how they are going to have the next job they are looking for. And so therefore, Bawumia is the answer. Now they have come to the understanding. Bawumia was a choice they missed in 2024. And in 2028, they'll do the needful.
Richard Ahyangba is Director of Communications for the NPP. Let's subject this claims to what Ghanaians are actually thinking about that. Musa Danko has all the figures for us. And Musa, I don't know if you did some national pairings too in the mix.
Not here. It was in the June poll.
Oh, in the June poll. How was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia faring, by the way?
Against Ato Forson, I think he was 19 points behind.
Richard, I hope he's not gone, by the way. Richard, so that's for June. That's for June. Yes. And against
Haruna Idris was 15 points behind, and against Asiedu Nketia was 10 points behind.
Really? Okay, we missed that opportunity. We should have made any comments, but let's get into it. Now we have that of the NDC. So how is it looking like? Let me leave that to you.
We sampled little over 5,600 NDC delegates across all the 16 regions. Pitching names like Jenano Poku, Joshua Alabi, Asiedu Nketia, Julius Debra, Ato Forson, Haruna Idrisu, and Eriko Poku. None of these people have so far officially declared their intention. But through unprompted call, we placed delegates. We had 5 top names that were appearing on people's lips. And then we added people we believe would contest, even though their names was not featuring high in the survey. So, yes, it is 5,637 people were sampled, all delegates of the NDC in 16 regions, random popularity sampling using telephone number picking, level of confidence 99%, margin of error 1.7%. The survey or the interviews were conducted between on the 8th of July and 14th of July. Yesterday was the last day. Now, let's look at the demographic. 78% of the delegates are male.
Well, why are you looking at more males?
Because that's what it is. In NDC, in fact, NDC, NPP, they are similar. There are fewer women in delegates than men. Age groups 18 to 24, just 1%. And then 25 to 34, 14%. 35 to 44, 37%. And 37 to, 45 to 54, 27%. And then 55 to 64, 14%. And 65 plus, 7%.
Well, whatever the case, there's a clear indication here that more young people will have to decide the future of the party.
Absolutely, absolutely. But those who will decide are not very young themselves. This is the old album. We don't know how the new album will look, whether it will shift towards this direction or maintain this. I suspect there will be much younger people now than it has been in the past. No qualification, 17%. Junior high school, 33%. So 50% roughly have either no qualification or junior high. And another 50% have senior high or tertiary. So split in the middle between the highly educated and least educated.
Is this rate of literacy not likely to shake anything that you're finding?
What we have seen is very common to all the political parties. They have got a lot of these people in the delegate base and fewer people here. They should be able to align their delegate base to the national sample. At the moment, it's misaligned. Employed, 73%. Employed, 21 unemployed. 1% are students and pensioners, 4% delegates. Christians, 70%, Muslim, 26%, traditional religion, 2%, other religions, 1%, and 1% people who have no religion. Ethnic, religious faith, here, I think, I don't want to go through this. The Muslim
because
sect.
you're not really concerned about that?
Not
as compared to, say, ethnicity.
Not in the delegate election.
Yeah.
In the national election, it has impact on what is happening in the national election because the various faith groups are not the same. They don't behave the same way when it comes to elections.
But you look at the ranking, for instance, for ethnicity, and instead of having the ever community happens to belong to the base of the party, I mean, where the NDC will find majority of its votes coming from. Yet the Akan group instead is dominating.
No, it's going to be like that. If you look at the Akan group in NDC, it's about 35%. Nationally, it's about 47%. So it is below the national average, which means that the other ethnic groups, which are minority, are dominant.
Yes.
So if you look at the Ewek groups, it's about 19%, Mori Dagbani about 15%, other smaller ethnic groups 12%, Adangbe 9%. So these 4 or 5 main blocks dominate. But Akans are also very formidable.
Okay, so you have all sects of the Akan.
Yes.
In the general categorization.
Yes.
Because of their categories, both Ashanti, Bono,
they are all Akans.
And all of these are coming under the 35%, as opposed to the individual ethnic groups or tribes that you have in here.
Yes.
Okay. Makes quite some connection there.
And then the first question we ask them, what are the things are you going to look out for in picking someone to replace John Mahama? Performance, it is now 66%. It was 78% before in the last poll, April, declined to 66%. Visionary, 66, now 45, decline. Good servant of the government, 37% before, now 24%. Serve the party, it was 22%, now 19%. Other factors was 20%, now 44%. Then personality, 16%, now 24%. And then the youth, 8% and still 8%.
So we just have to be objective here, because when you say performance, what kind of performance are you referring to?
No, we don't give any example.
Yeah.
Any person who is contesting has been in one role or the other. In whatever role he has been or he's...
The temptation of having that sounding a bit vague or undefined may be a challenge. How are you going to subject, for instance, Johnson Asiedu Nketia to someone who's serving in government?
No, we're not saying performance in government. We said performance.
Performance where?
Whatever the person has found himself in. People have served as board chairman.
Yes.
Have served as party chairman, as ministers. Are they not performing?
If you've not ever been given the opportunity to serve,
then you will score 0, frankly, nil there. But you're going to come to the race with some track record. What record are you bringing? That's the bottom line.
Is that why, going forward, and I'm sure you demonstrate that, why some individuals appear to be trailing behind when nationally their names are all over the place?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Are you being fair to them? Because if I've not been given the opportunity before, or I've never served as...
Then how possible would that person be elected to lead? Let's be real. Because you're going to come to compete against Bawumia.
Yes.
You must put something on the table. What are you bringing to the table? Will be the question. You're not going for beauty contest.
Yeah, that's true. You need some track record.
Track record. And that track record will be backed by your performance, what you have, the vision you may espouse along the line, whether you've served the government. So if you're not in government, this may count against you.
And I was just going to be a bit controversial in that, because when you do that, in terms of performance, you're going to be pairing, for instance, someone like, and it's a very controversial point, someone like Johnson Asiedu Nketia, who served almost all his life, you know, in the NDC, as a national figure, prominent figure, someone who's contributed his quota to the success of the party in subsequent elections.
It's for the people
in successive elections, I should say. You're not going to be objective then. Why don't you subject such a person?
We are not giving them
who's just served maybe 4 terms, 1 term as an chairman.
We're not giving you any example
of
what to choose for. In your own view, what would you look out for? I'm not saying linking this option to what you want to vote for. What are your important things? There are other things that you can choose. You are not bound by, to pick performance, or pick visionary, or pick good servant. You can pick anything. We are showing you that for those who have chosen performance, that's the number. Those who said they will look at visionary, that's their number. Those who said good servant of the government, that's the number. Other factors, we don't know what they are. It is now 44%.
Which is quite significant.
Yes. What are they? We don't know.
That other factor, I may suggest to you, could be money, which destabilized your There's a work you've done before, and everything was affected because of the kind of inducement you said that happened during the elections.
Beyond this, we know the income levels of all the delegates. So you can see who is attracting the votes of the poor delegates and rich delegates. So we have that data.
It's probably not money they're looking at.
No, so look, there are things. But you see, if you look at the top three, these are not money-driven factors. They are putting their country interest ahead of personal interest. That's why performance, visionary, good servant, serve the party are top four. Other factors should have been number one, but it's not.
Yeah. That's a good connection there. So all of this you say will factor into what next?
We asked them, we wanted to be able to triangulate the results of the work we are doing to see whether a candidate's support is on a solid foundation or weak foundation. And if it's on weak foundation, what does that mean to the potential eventual outcome of the race? Do you agree or disagree with the suggestions that Chairman Nketia should stay on as a chairman? This issue has been asked. Even when you call delegates, they keep telling you. So this time around, we decided to put that to them again, so that we can see the overall view of the delegates. We've never asked this question before. The first poll, which was in March, they didn't ask this question. But they keep telling us, it should stay, it should stay. So we said, okay, let's test it and see what the outcome will be.
And when you say he should stay, you're saying he stays on until the contest comes?
No, to stay on to remain as a chairman of the party.
Never contest the presidential?
Yes, that's what they mean by that.
Interesting.
Do you agree or disagree? The last poll we did was in April. 42% of them were saying they agree that he should stay as a chairman. 39% said they disagree. So it was very close at the time. And 19% didn't have an opinion. Now, 61% said he should stay as a chairman. 26% said no, he should go and contest. And 13% have no opinion.
This is a drastic change.
It's a drastic change, yes, the drastic change. What is interesting is that not everybody who agrees are still not voting for him. There are people who agree that he shouldn't contest, yet when you put the name out there for them to choose,
they'll still go in for him.
Yes, yes.
So in as much as they want him so bad as the chairperson of the National Democratic Congress, they would still love to see him anywhere else.
If he doesn't heed to that, then some of them will vote for him.
Still go with him?
Yes.
Well, probably you might want to pin that to us. So now you're asking, should the NDC select... okay, so this is for...
Then another question. We want to also look at... You see, when DMB was elected in January, I think that was the point where Ato Forson candidature became more plausible, because he's an economist, the finance minister. Bawumia, an economist, former vice president. And people were saying that they should bring Ato Forson because he's an economist to face Bawumia, the economist. We wanted to assess from the delegates whether they agree or they disagree to this assertion or this proposal by others.
Musa, this time around, your questions appear to be a bit intrusive, if I should use that word.
Because
why are you asking, for instance, should Asiedu Nketia stay on, when indeed you've done polls earlier pointing out that, well, he may be in the race. Now you have another question.
We'll tell you why.
Surrounding Ato Forson.
We'll get there.
Right.
We'll get there. There are reasons for us asking this question. Because when we run a cross-tabulation, you want to see those who agree to the suggestion who are still voting for Asiedu Nketia. Don't assume that the fact that he agrees that it should be Ato Forson means that if Ato Forson comes against Asiedu Nketia, he won't vote for Asiedu Nketia. That is not the way we should look at it. We'll get there and we'll see how things pan out down the line.
So on this question of should the NDC select Ato Forson, an economist, to face Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, or another economist? So this is a question on whether or not the NDC should opt for an economist against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
No, the question was specific to Ato Forson.
Yes. Because of, him having that background.
Yes.
As an economist. Okay.
And among those who are contesting, he's economists among them.
Yeah, yeah, right.
49% in April, now 58%. I agree. But Ato Forson is not getting 58%. Remember, he's 22%.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that they say they agree, yet they will vote for him in block like that. Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
They just believe that he stands a good chance against Dr. Mahmoud.
That could be your interpretation. Yes, that could be an interpretation. And the polling data has shown on head-to-head. But we're not going to go there. We are here today on NDC. Yes. Those who say they disagree, it was 27%, now 23%. And no opinion has also declined from 24 to 19%. People moved from disagreement or no opinion to agreeing to that.
So Ato Forson's ratings within the NDC appears to either be making some marginal gains or, remaining steadily.
Let's go forward and we'll see how the numbers look like.
Yeah.
I don't want to rush into making some comments. And then when you ask them, who do you want to lead the NDC?
Yeah.
Nketia, 27%. Ato Forson, 22%. Even though 58% say they agree that he should be the candidate. Yeah. You see the difference. And then Haruna, 6%. Jane Nana, 7%. Deborah, 5%. Alabi, 1%. Irokopuku, 1%. And someone else, 1%. And 30% of them said they are undecided.
Okay. If you take the undecided base, they are way more than the leading number.
Yes.
Which means that anything could happen to Johnson Asiedu Nketia's
absolutely
prediction that he may be in the lead now. Or it's unlikely that anything else.
No, let's stick to the facts today. The fact today says that a third of them are undecided.
You don't want to deal with the unknown. Because if you're a politician and you have 30% of the base saying, well, they've decided on you might want to be concerned a bit.
Look, if you are Asiedu Nketia, sincerely, you should be worried. Because he's the best marketed person in this race. Everybody knows him. Some people don't even know what Ato Forson. Unless you say for the finance minister, delegate of NDC, they don't know his name. So when the race becomes a race and people begin to hit the ground, where will this 30% move to? That's the big question we have to wait and see.
But what I'm saying is, I could be, and let me just play that devil's advocate. You could add that 30% entirely, or even give 25% of it to Julius Deborah, for instance, who's trailing behind with 5%. When you do that,
in polling,
he outweighs Johnson Asiedu Nketia by way some 3 points.
In polling and social behavior and human behavior, it doesn't happen like that.
All things will never be equal?
No.
Right.
The remaining 30% will spread in the way their competitors are thinking. In some cases, if some have a good reservation about somebody, then they will break slightly more in one direction than the other.
But you can't be
I am saying, as a pollster, this will not break away.
Even if you give majority of that to one of the last three, okay, after Asiedu Nketia, you have Haruna, you have the Veep, and then Julius. If you give 15% to all of them, they might be giving a tough challenge.
No, the point I am making is from polling perspective. I'm talking as a pollster.
You feel it's not rational?
It's not rational. What you are saying is not rational.
Okay.
It's not rational. It's not rational.
I'm sounding a bit more unrealistic.
Yes.
But it can happen in politics.
No, it can happen in politics unless something fundamental change in this race.
Because to me, if you're giving someone as influential as Haruna Idrissa, for instance, okay, you're not giving the ratings. If people are telling you 6%, that's the ratings for him, then probably you have a significant proportion of individuals in this 30% undecided who might want to opt.
You check the trend.
Yeah.
Don't just jump and say give 30 to somebody. Follow the trend and see what the trend is looking like. Yeah. Let's look at the trend.
Yeah. Wow.
April, Nketia 29%. Now 27%. Ato Forson 19%. Now 22%. Haruna Dusu 11%. Now 6%. Akufo-Addo 8%. Now 7%. Julius 8%, now 5%. Alabi now 1%, Opoku 1%, rest 1%. This is a phenomenon. If it repeats again in that order, in terms of reduction, becomes a trend, the trend then becomes reality.
But you see that seeming trend also of the undecided population rising by that day.
Yes.
And that's why I'm telling you that yeah, I may sound a bit irrational on this point, but things keep changing.
Look, really what happens is, you see people who want to go with you will stick with you.
So Asiedu Nketia's base will always stick with him.
What happens is that there are people who are doubting about their earlier options. And they have moved away. So you could see that down 2% by Asiedu Nketia. Haruna is down 5%. Jane is down 1%. Deborah down 3%. Some of these people have gone to Ato Forson. Others have gone to undecided. So he is the gainer among the top candidates here. Now, let me take you to another data we have here. If you take Jane Nana, Haruna Idrisu, and Deborah out of the race and say, okay, Ato Forson is the one that is going to be the minister who's going to contest against Asiedu Nketia.
Asiedu still leads.
32% roughly. Ato 29%, the rest, and 30% undecided. Gone up slightly. There are people who support Jane Nana, Haruna, who haven't decided where to go if they're not in the race. They prefer to go to undecided. And they will decide. Head to head, Ato Forson and Asiedu Nketia. If these are the only two people who are contesting, let me put it this way. Okay.
Yeah, we could go a step back. This is Asiedu Nketia against...
April, he was 37% in April.
Against Ato Forson.
Now, 34%, declined by 3%. Ato Forson, 32%, now 33%. Undecided, 31%, now 33%. So, he has declined. Now, look at this. Among those who were voting for Jane Nana Opoku, Haruna Idrisu, Deborah, Alabi, Erikopoku, who are now not in the race, how are their people behaving? Majority of their voters are going for Ato Forson. Among those who are backing Jane Nana, 32% Asiedu Nketia, 45% Ato Forson, 23% undecided. Those who are going for Haruna Idrisu, 32% for Asiedu Nketia, 54% for Ato Forson, 14% undecided. Those who are voting for Julius Deborah, 27% Asiedu Nketia, 54% Ato Forson, 19% undecided. Those who are doing Alabi, 38% Asiedu Nketia, 49% Ato Forson, and then 13% undecided. Those who are saying Erikopoku, 33% for Asiedu Nketia, 36% for Ato Forson, 31%.
Has this got anything to do with age for me? You take a look at
it is plain up.
Because I was just,
it is plain up.
You look at the Haruna factor and the Julius Deborah or Professor Jane Nana Opoku factor.
The younger people,
all of them are switching to Asiedu Nketia, and then you have those in the Haruna camps.
No.
Moving, or is the other way around?
Ato Forson is number 2 here. So majority of all the other candidates delegates go for Ato Forson if their candidates are not in the race.
Yeah. So it's an issue of age for you.
Here, you look at Haruna Idrisu. 54, a lot more percent of his guys are going to Ato Forson. He's younger. Deborah is younger, 54%. Jane Nana, 45, much smaller number because her block are also older people. So they don't break away heavily as they are breaking towards Ato Forson. But the younger candidates' numbers are going heavily towards Ato Forson. Deborah, Erikopoku split in the middle.
So that age semblance.
Yes.
So that's identity politics then happening.
But it's a demography issue. It's not identity, it's a demography. You face the reality of the day. And the country is young, and people are looking for young people. And that fact, you cannot completely erase it. Age profile. Surprisingly, look, among those who are 18 to 24, they are a small number though, 1%. Asiedu Nketia leads with 53%. Ato Forson 24%. Those 25 to 34 are two leads 35%. 35 to 44 is square, tied. And those 54 to 55 almost tied there as well.
So more middle-aged individuals will go to Ato Forson.
I think what we have seen elsewhere is that the very younger ones will go to Ato Forson. The very old ones go to Asiedu Nketia. And most importantly, the education is key. those with the lower education tend to tilt towards Asiedu Nketia. So among those with junior high, Nketia 36%, Ato 30%. Senior high, Ato 35, 31 Nketia. Tertiary, Ato 41, and Nketia 32. Those without qualification, Ato 25.
So no doubt, Asiedu Nketia controls the base, the very base of the party.
He controls, you can't say it's a base. What is the base? The base includes people with degree as well.
Yeah, obviously.
But what we are saying is that the less educated people tend to tilt towards him at this moment. This is the old album. If the new album comes out and that profile changes, we don't know how or where it's going to tilt. That could be also the deciding factor.
Because the elite group within the party
is growing.
Yeah.
And when that growth happens, it could affect Asiedu Nketia very significantly, based on this initial data.
But then still you have some individuals, irrespective of their background, still remaining undecided.
Yes. So what's going to happen? Look, Ato Forson, frankly, is no candidate yet.
Asiedu is or presumptive?
Asiedu, presumptive. I mean,
presumptive,
he has made us to understand from his actions, not from his words, that he's going to contest.
Did you do an approval rating for them individually, these two?
Not here, no.
Yeah.
No.
You feel something would have changed if you were carrying that out?
No, we've done some work, but approval rating necessarily doesn't show in vote. They like all of them, but they're party people.
Yeah. So even if I ask you, do you like Ato Forson?
Yeah, you say yes.
The NDC,
yeah, you say yes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't give you much.
Yes. Yeah, it won't change much. But this is about the race, isn't it?
Yes, about the race. Yeah. Now, this is where the work we did comes to play. 58% of the delegates say that they agree that Ato Forson should be the candidate. 23 said no, they don't agree. Now look, of the 58%, 25% of them are still voting for Asiedu Nketia.
Now you have to break that down.
Okay. They agree that Ato Forson should be their candidate.
Yes.
But earlier, they said that they are voting for Asiedu Nketia. So the fact that they said he should be the candidate doesn't mean they will by all means vote for him. But it also shows that General is vulnerable within this group. For those who agree that Ato should be the candidate, there are people that can be convinced to shift their positions. It shows the vulnerability of the candidate. For those who said no, they disagree. Look at the number, 61. So this should have been higher for him to consolidate that number.
But in the case of Ato Forson, you see quite some staunch supporting base or supporter base.
No, the base for Nketia is solid. It's kind of it doesn't move beyond 30%.
As we're seeing in the column of
yes.
So those who believe that Johnson Asiedu Nketia should be the leader of the party, they wouldn't change their position.
Most of them would not.
I mean, you just have 20% of them changing their minds.
Yes.
At maximum.
So if you look at the current race, I think the hardcore for Asiedu Nketia is about 30%. The hardcore. Yeah. Which means that if the hardcore 30%, then you need to form an alliance with other group to get to 50% plus one.
And in this case, you're suggesting that Asiedu Nketia would need a ride.
Absolutely.
Either of the individuals.
Absolutely.
Should that be Haruna or Forson? Which one works?
It's the numbers game. Yeah. Who has the numbers? It's numbers game.
Yeah, you don't want to be choosing for him now.
No.
Anyway. Because of time, so in a nutshell, what's likely to happen going into the future in your project?
I mean, what's going to happen?
You can't tell.
No. This is not predictions. This is as of today.
Yeah.
Now, we expect the new album to be out. And we'll see how different the old album is to the new one. We'll carry out another poll to see if there are any similarities between the old behavior and the new behavior.
Which means, whatever the case, these individuals ought to ensure that they retain the same base.
Yes. Or expand the base.
Yeah.
People who doubt about your candidature, you must convince them. Convince them that you are the man.
Or you kick them out. Whichever way. That's not a friendly type of politics, is it? But you just have to consolidate them.
Yes.
For base.
Yes. And don't forget about the key things they are looking out for.
Yeah.
Don't take your eye off the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there any final thing we have to look at?
Quickly, there's something that we wanted to look at in terms of the regional bloc.
Yeah. Okay. We do the regions now, is it?
Yeah, we didn't do regions, but we did them a block.
Okay.
Block to show you.
That should be next to last. Is it?
One of the chart, let me just see there.
Yeah.
Here. This
Okay.
one.
The regions, yes. Let's do that.
In the swing regions
Yes.
of Greater Accra, Central and Western region,
Yeah.
general is down 1% compared to April. Ato Forson,
And this swing regions would include Central?
Central, Western, and Greater Accra. Jinana is down 1%. Ato Forson is up 1%. Haruna is down 2%. Jos Debra is down 4%.
Yeah.
Others are up 4%. And those who are undecided, up 4%. Now, if you go to the Akan regions, Nketia is down 4% in the Akan regions. Jinana is down 2%. Ato is up 4%. This is down 6%. Jilos is down 1%. Others are up 2%. And those who are undecided are up 7%.
I see.
If you go to Volta and Otik,
Yeah.
Nketia is down 6%. Jane down 3%. Ato up 11%. Haruna is down 2%. Debra is down 2%. Those who are in the northern region, that's where the biggest shock is.
Biggest, yeah.
Asiedu Nketia up
by
5%.
Yeah.
Jinana unchanged. Ato Forson 4%.
And Haruna
is down 16%.
Interestingly,
that's what caused his collapse in the national
polls as well, because that is big.
That is big. Yeah. That is big.
Okay, we've run out of time. 30 seconds. Any story on the Julius Debra scenario? You would have my good friend Ras Mubarak writing.
No, and I mean, we're not singling out any individual. The numbers are what they are today.
So you have a message for us? Is it?
I think follow the data and not the emotions.
Okay. He disagrees with you, but whatever the case, thank you for doing this latest for us. And of course, you can always check out. They have more on their socials. Global Info Analytics, right? Yeah, you get more of that. Anyway, that's all time will allow us here on UPfront. I am Blessed Sugan. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Bye for now.